Good morning. How are you today? I hope you're doing well. We're going to start planning our new project. So in my last video, I talked at length, at nauseum, about how it's kind of really important to me that I dip my toes in the financial literacy world. I just really want to get better at personal finance management. My first kind of step was polling on Google our favorite university and our favorite professor. What do I need to know to become financially literate? And just kind of go from there. I felt like that was a good first step, I guess, in this whole plan that we're gonna put in place and like kind of figure out what we want to do. I noticed that list had a lot of overlap when I pulled it on Google, and it was also mixed with like things basically that you should do. Like, for example, they would have like a couple of things that are good, like investing, retirement, good research things, but then they would also have like pay off your debt or something like that. And it's like, duh. Gee, Google, thanks. I never would have guessed that one, So it's like it was kind of interesting how they compiled the like list. It just kind of pulled a bunch of random stuff. So I kind of streamlined it a little bit. Some of the things that they had recommended of at least good jumping off points is budget, investing, retirement, borrowing, expenses, debt management, saving, credit, taxation, spending, and planning. So I'm going to look on YouTube to see if there are any kind of good resources for me to kind of look into and see basically what everybody else is doing, what people have done in the past for personal finance management. I really wish there was like a class I could just take where it was all kind of compiled for us, and maybe there is. I don't know. We're gonna find out though. I'm sure there are free resources. It's just a matter of like trying to figure out where they are. But yeah, so that's kind of what my plan is for this week, is just kind of do I call it compass work, where basically I'm just like trying to navigate where I want to go, what direction I want to go, just where to point the compass, and just kind of like look up. Sorry, I just saw the craziest spider web, which is unacceptable because where there are webs, that means there are spiders. See, that's the pros and cons of having an all black colored bedroom is one, you don't see the spiders, but you also don't see the spiders. It's been like 5 seconds since the last clip, but you know what I do think is a good place to start? I did notice on the Google list, the first thing, like one of the ones was financial goals, and I was like, do I even have that? I don't think I do, because the only thing that I really knew was I just owe a lot of money on credit. I was in credit card debt, still am. I'm in credit card debt. Holy cow, it's way worse than I remembered now that I'm actually like looking into it. I haven't been very like tethered to my finances because it's just like a big scary thing that I don't know anything about, which we're working on. So I think that's going to be where we start, actually. Like, what are my financial goals? Like, what do I want? I'm trying to think. I feel like paying off debt, obviously. I would like to have a 3-month at least emergency fund of like all of my finances that I would need. I feel like that's a good one. I'd like to own my own property someday. That would be nice. So we'll do that. Retire. That would be nice if I could be able to retire. That's the only thing I can really think of right now. I don't know what else. But I guess those 4. But yeah, I was like, I don't even think I have any goals. Am I just walking around goalless? Like, that's unacceptable. That feels wrong. But yeah, so I guess that's actually the real step 1 here. We got blindsided by the whole debt situation, so that kind of jumped into my brain and just took over everything. But yeah, I think that's a good thing to kind of know, is basically like, why are you doing this? You know what I mean? Like, what's this all for? What's the plan? What do you want? What do you need? So sorry, it's after work now, but you're probably gonna hear the water running because I am in desperate need of doing the dishes. I wanted to kind of fill you in on where I was in my researching. I just get like lost in these tunnels of information, and just like there's so many avenues in all of these different like financial things, stuff that obviously I've never really considered or thought about, which I feel like that's pretty normal, right? Like the more you learn, the more you start kind of like questioning things, looking into things, so on and so forth. And of course, that's where I'm at. One of the articles that I actually found was talking about kind of like what financial literacy is and like all this stuff, right? And good kind of like foundational knowledge. And what I thought was particularly interesting is they started getting into banking. One of the first things that they were like, step one, you know, like that kind of vibe, was that get a bank account. And I was, in my head, I was like, apparently, I guess like 6% of people don't have a bank account. But then I was like, how do you do anything? Because I feel like everything in my life, I am constantly having to look up my routing and accounting number. And same with like jobs and stuff. I guess, would you just not direct deposit? Like, how does that work? I think this is relating to American numbers, because of course I'm American, in case you couldn't tell with my narcissism. They were talking about the difference between a bank and a credit union. I didn't know that there was a difference. I don't even know what I thought. I thought like credit union and bank were just kind of synonymous. But apparently, no. Apparently, there are two types of banks, a retail bank and a credit union. I had no idea. Retail bank is for profit and a credit union is a non-profit, and it's usually owned by the members. I did read that some of the main differences between a retail bank versus a credit union. So like a retail bank would be like Wells Fargo, Bank of America, like Chase. The retail banks are more, usually like a little bit more techy because they have way more funds. They're the most popular. Most people choose to do a retail bank. Blew my mind. I had no idea. So I thought that was kind of interesting, and that's kind of, I think, is that where I stopped? Is that all I learned? It's kind of crazy sometimes, these things that you just tell yourself are done the way that they're done because that's the way they've always been done. So you don't really like question further, you know what I mean? And then I like immediately feel so dumb because I'm just like, how did you not know that? That's kind of where I'm at right now. I'm just kind of learning more, just kind of, I think, about like the systems in place and why they're used and how they run, which I don't know if that actually like matters, but to me it does. I want to know everything about every facet of it once I start getting involved, which is why I feel like when I do these like projects or like I start actually getting involved, I think that's why I get so overwhelmed, because I get so tired, because I tend to be like that. I can't do anything surface level. Like I can't, like once I choose to actively look into something or like really understand a concept or a thing, I feel like it just becomes this huge, I want to devour everything, but it feels like I don't have the energy or like the time. Like I want it to be like I know everything tomorrow, and it's like that's not realistic. So that's where I'm at with researching banks and financing right now. I just had to update you on that because I just thought, isn't that so wild? Or maybe you're just like, Emily, yeah, all of us knew that, but like, welcome to the party, you know? Damn, what the hell? This pizza roll sauce is like not coming off. It's been a few days. Today is Saturday, and what have I learned? Not too much more. I ended up, once I was done with my stuff, I got distracted, as I do, and I haven't really picked too much into it recently. At least I've kind of hammered down some basics, or like a rough plan of where I should go from here. And the basics that from what I've come to understand of just financial literacy and like what the hell it is, it's just as I was expecting it to be. I'm glad my reading comprehension skills and my ability to use context clues are still, it's exactly what we assumed it was. Financial literacy is frankly and simply just the ability to use and apply financial skills. That's really it. Now, what are these financial skills? I don't know, but we're gonna learn, because that's kind of all what it seems like. It's basically just not making dumbass decisions when it comes to your finances. That's kind of all what it seems to boil down to. It kind of seems like there may be some like key step, like the basic things are like everyday banking, budgeting, managing debt. What was the other one? Investing, probably. That sounds right. And yeah, and so it's like some of the key steps I feel like we're already kind of doing together. What I've kind of gathered is it's basically creating a budget, tracking your spending, paying off your debt, and then like planning your retirement. Those are kind of the four, and obviously investing is in there somewhere. But yeah, those are kind of, it seems like everything that I was reading after article and article and article, it's mainly just those like 5 things. So we've kind of outlined our financial goals and kind of some basic steps of where to go from here. I'm excited to learn so much and actually kind of get into the nitty-gritty of all this stuff and just see like what the hell is going on. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye. Pretty interesting stuff in my opinion. I look crazy right now.